Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, or whatever the case may be. My name is Marcus, and I am the host of the Black Brazil Today YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog, where I analyze Brazil from the perspective of race. So I want to jump right into the video for today. As my channel and my blog has always been about analyzing Brazil from the perspective of race, the stories don't stop. As much as I could cover about Brazil, just focusing on this one topic, you know, I could use a whole team to dig into stuff that happens in Brazil every day because it's just enough to go around, particularly in this age of social networks. Um, so today I want to discuss the treatment of Black Brazilians when they go into whether it's a supermarket or a clothing store. It's this image that all Black people are poor. All Black Brazilians, they don't have access. What are they doing living in this nice building? What are they doing shopping at this chic mall? What are they doing driving this kind of car? What are they doing in this type of neighborhood? And on and on. And it doesn't matter if you're famous or you're just an everyday person. As I've said, I've always said it doesn't really matter if you're a person who has means, if you're financially stable or whatever. You have to be recognized as being such. And just being Black, it kind of, if you're not famous, then it kind of like cancels out your position, your status. Remember some years ago, there was a story about, Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, everybody knows who Oprah Winfrey is, but apparently just being Oprah Winfrey didn't shield her from having her own experience of, like shopping while Black or whatever she was doing. And we get cases like this all the time. So today's case, I actually saw this video several months ago, and I just kind of put it back in the archives because I never had a chance to get to it. But then when I found out that this particular store has been at the center of numerous complaints of racist treatment of its Black clients when they come into the store, people will follow them around. They got some special code that they use when Black clients come into the store. And I says, okay, now I want to tie in the video that I didn't get a chance to share some months ago. So today's story, when you don't find anything stolen, can I punch you in the face? Asks journalist Patrícia Ramos after being accused of theft in Zara clothing store. Now, Patrícia Ramos is a popular journalist and personality on social networks. I don't know how many followers she has on Instagram, but she is pretty popular. People are curious about Patrícia, not only because of who she's dating or whatever. They're also curious about, and this is a story that I wasn't able to get to, some months ago as well. She recently showed some pictures of herself, like, now versus what she looked like a few years ago, whatever. She was like really skinny some years ago. Now she has the type of frame that you could tell that this woman works out religiously. And people were just like, kind of like shocked by the change in her body. And so it was an accusation, okay, you're using steroids or, growth hormone or something. And she discussed that. I'm not going to get into that because that's not the subject of today's video. But a lot of people know who Patrícia Ramos is. But it just goes to show that what happened with her at this clothing store, it doesn't matter who you are. They see the Black skin first, and they automatically associate stereotypes with the Black skin. And this is true throughout Brazil. So let me get into this story for today. And before I do, make sure you like this video, share this video, consider subscribing to the channel, click on the notification bell so you'll know when I put up new videos. So let me get into the video for today, and I'll discuss this a little bit more. So this is Patrícia Ramos. This is the Zara shopping clothing store that I guess she had an incident in this store when she was trying to purchase some stuff. So this goes into the idea that Black Brazilians are always labeled by Brazilian society as being suspicious. Black Brazilians are treated with hostility at banks. They're followed around in stores, and it is automatically assumed that Blacks cannot afford to buy merchandise. And the evidence of this is overwhelming. Like I said, I don't I don't do everything on racism, but I'm just saying, just if you go to the blackbraziltoday.com blog, you see stories that I posted of this over the years, like what profile do I fit? Racial profiling. Why are Black men in vehicles suspicious? Suspicion of shoplifting, shopping while Black. 11-year-old Black girl was accused of stealing something. Neighbors report young photographer for suspicious behavior. I mean, dude was going through a neighborhood and taking pictures of birds that he was checking out with his camera. And that was enough for him to be deemed as being suspicious. Let me see. What else do we have here? Okay. Then the stereotype you have in the media, black bandits, how Brazil's media continues to perpetuate the racist image of black criminals. Bike riding while black, YouTuber recording video for channel interrupted when police approach him with guns drawn. I'm not this these types of incidents happen all the time. And the blog has about 3,800 articles. You'll find these types of stories all over. Again, blackbraziltoday.com. Blacks are not welcome. Scenes of racism and humiliation in banks. This story is from 2019, and this guy went into a bank and I don't know if he was just looking into his account, but they call security on him, and next thing you know, he's on the ground being put in a headlock. Right. Let me see. He's an entrepreneur. Crispin Tejao was put in a headlock by a military police soldier at a Caixa Econômica Federal Bank location in Salvador, Bahia. I mean, this is absurd. Can you imagine being treated this way? You go into a bank where obviously you're depositing your money and you got an account in there, and this is how you're greeted when you're asked for service in a bank. Again, just numerous articles on the racism that Black Brazilians go through in supermarkets. Supermarket fires employee who wouldn't help customer because he didn't like blacks. Let me see. This was a huge case back in 2020, I think it was. Brutal murder of a black man. It was like the day before the day of, either on the day or day before the yearly day of Black consciousness in Brazil. And I think 2020 or 2021, this dude was attacked by 2 or 3 security officers, and they took him out. They killed him. So that was a huge, protest broke out all over Brazil after that happened. Look at this story right here. 56-year-old black man forced to strip down to his underwear to prove he didn't steal anything in a supermarket. I mean, it's bad enough that they treat young people this way, but a 56-year-old man, can you imagine you're 56 years old and you have to be humiliated like this because store security believed that, you were stealing something? I mean, this dude had to strip down to his underwear. That's absurd. Okay, obviously, I'm seeing this had to have happened during the whole pandemic. Luis Carlos da Silva, he says, I came here to buy something and they call me a thief. Numerous stories at blackbraziltoday.com that talk about this type of treatment that Black Brazilians are subjected to. Nothing new in Brazil. Supermarkets and businesses have a history of aggression against Black customers. It's full of stories. It's not something that can really be denied. This is a story that I was just talking about, the guy at the Carrefour supermarket. I think it happened in Porto Alegre in the south of the country. Another black man killed in a supermarket. This guy was suffocated by security at an extra store in Rio de Janeiro. Like one of those I can't breathe cases that happened in Rio. This is an old story. Januario Alves de Santana. I think this was in 2009. He was assaulted and tortured after being accused of stealing his own car. This another guy was accused of theft after trying to exchange a watch. I mean, the stories go on and on. I'm not going to focus on. I'm just trying to put this in context of the story that I'm going to report on today. And then, you're Black. You can't afford it. Whether you're a music executive in the United States or an actress in Brazil, it shows again that be it in America or Brazil, Black people are treated the same. This has to do with an American. I think he was at an airline, and a white woman was just shocked that he was ahead of her. And you have your economic seats on the airline, and then you have the more upscale, areas of the airplane. And this white woman apparently couldn't believe that this Black guy was able to get on the plane and sit in that section, right? Erika Januza talked about how she's a popular actress in Brazil. And she talked about how trying to buy something at an upper scale type of store. And one of the employees in the store asked her, did you see the price? And he pointed at the price tag. And she said, yes. He said, will you want to pay in 4 installments? She said, no, I'll pay in cash. Am I crazy? Well, she's asking, is she crazy by speaking out on the way that this employee spoke to her, as if he's suggesting that she can't afford to buy what she picked up in that store. So These are just a few examples that I can show you. As I said, there's almost 4,000 articles over at blackbraziltoday.com, the blog. But let's talk about what Patrícia Ramos went through herself. She described this in a video. As I said, I actually wanted to do this video, react to this video months ago. I just put it on a back burner until I found out there was some other stuff going on with this same store. So let's get into it right now. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just overdub what she had to say about her experience at this Zara clothing store. So let's check it out. It was here in Sao Paulo, right? Then I went in Zara to buy some things. Then I went through the self-service checkout and had some accessories too. When I went through the store alarm, it went beep, 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 beep. Then as soon as I left, I went back into the store with my purse. Then there was a movement from outside, security looking on and the whole store looking on. I don't know what. Then I realized, right? Oh my God. Then the woman looking like this comes up to me, the purse, please. Then I grabbed the purse from the store. I gave it to her. Yeah. The purse, please. I grabbed it. I said, it must be some accessory. She said, now your purse there. Huh? My purse? Yes, because you have to go through the checkout. I said, no, there's nothing from the store in my purse. Everything I bought from the store is in the store bag. If you put it through the alarm here, oh no, but it's protocol. I said, I'm not giving you my personal purse. There's nothing from the store here. But I don't know. I said, okay, if you put it through the buzzer and it doesn't go off, can I punch you in the face? I said, no, because I'm telling you it won't go off. Do you want it? Then she said, okay, go to the checkout with me. I said, not me, you go there alone. I said, no, you go there alone. You're going to deactivate the alarm. That's your job. And you're going to bring the purse to me at the store door. I'm waiting for you here. Then she went in and took everything out. Oh no, it was an accessory because the earring, there's an alarm. I said, no, it's fine. Then I took the purse, mine too. I passed it through the store alarm and it didn't go off. I said, see how clever you were? Imagine if you asked me to hand over my bag, what a scandal it would be. You're so clever. I took it and left. So you can hear what Patrícia Ramos went through in this ordeal at Zara, clothing store. So if it was just this incident, okay, yeah, I probably wouldn't even report it on it until I discovered there's a whole thing with Zara apparently having a problem with Black clients. So let's take a look at this because this is also a case from 2021, and I'm going to show a few other cases that go with this. This story is by Carlos Madeiro. It goes on. This is a separate case. An investigation by the civil police of Ceará state in Brazil's northeast states that the Zara clothing store in Iguatemi shopping mall in the capital city of Fortaleza created a secret code for employees to be aware and follow Black people or people wearing quote unquote simple clothes who entered the establishment. The alert was given by the store's sound system using the code Zara Zero. After the report was published, the Zara store denied using codes to discriminate against clients. Witnesses who worked at the site claimed that they were told to identify these people with stereotypes outside of the store's standard. From then on, the person was treated as a harmful person who should be closely monitored. This usually occurred with people wearing more simple clothes and people of color, says the general police of the civil police of Ceará, Sergio Pereira, who considered the procedure absurd and unacceptable. This type of treatment on the part of Zara has been recorded several times, not only here in Brazil, including outside the country, with the payment of compensation. And this is the chief of civil police of Ceará, Sergio Pereira, speaking. The person responsible for detailing how the alert was made was Arlete Silveira, the director of Department of Defense of Vulnerable Groups. She even says that they were oriented to approach people. That code was Zara Zero, which was discovered during the investigation. She advises that there is an approach within the store when someone, quote unquote, different, so to speak, arrives without Zara's expected consumer profile. It's as if that person ceases to be a consumer and becomes suspicious, she says. Doesn't fit Zara's expected consumer profile. We know what that means. They have a certain clientele that they consider to be normal. Anybody who doesn't fit that profile, is suspect. Details of the discrimination against certain customers were discovered during the investigation of the case involving Ana Paula Barroso, this woman here, who is Black. Barroso is the Deputy Director of Department for the Protection of Vulnerable Groups of the Civil Police of the state of Ceará, and she was prohibited from entering the store on the night of September 14th, 2021, and filed a police report for racism. At the time, the allegation was that the incident was a security issue of the mall. So, okay, so she's wearing a mask. You can tell this was during the whole pandemic thing. This is September 2021. The one who expelled her, the police say, was the manager of the store, the Portuguese man Bruno Felipe Simões, 32, who was indicted for the crime of racism. The completed inquiry was sent to the courts. Entities of the Black movement filed a lawsuit in Ceará against the Zara chain of stores, requesting 40 million reais in compensation for collective moral damage. The action is based on the episode in which Barroso claimed to have suffered racial discrimination on the part of an employee of a store located in a mall in Fortaleza. A second investigation into another case of racism was opened following a similar complaint from another Zara client. That incident is still under investigation. This is another picture of Ana Paula Barroso. In the case of Barroso, the delegate, Simões claimed in a statement that he prevented Barroso from accessing the store because she was wearing a mask improperly, which contradicts the protocols against COVID-19. Ana Paula Barroso refutes this justification, and the investigation gathered elements that endorse her version of the story. The police raised evidence that the treatment of the customers varied according to color and profile and was not related to the use or not of a mask. The images of the internal camera circuit of the mall and the store show that Barroso, when trying to enter the store, had her mask down because she was eating some ice cream. Throughout the rest of her journey at the establishment, she made use of the mask. In the police report, she reports that she questioned the employee, identified in the document as a manager and named Bruno, if she was being barred because she was eating. He just repeated several times that it was a determination of the mall security. Then Barroso went to the security team of the shopping mall and reported what happened. She asked if she could be barred for eating, but she heard from 3 mall security guards that there was no determination to do so. This was clear in the testimony of the witnesses. The security guards only advise to put the mask back on if they have not been consuming food. When they see it, they don't approach. This is from Manuela Lima. She's a delegate of the Women of Fortaleza, a women's rights organization. Finally, Ana Paula spoke to the head of mall security. The two returned to the store, Zara, where the manager confirmed Barroso's version of the story and apologized for what happened. He apologized and stated that it was a policy that was valid for everyone. He said he was not racist in that he had Black and homosexual friends, says Manuela. Typical. I can't be racist. I have Black and I have gay friends. How could I be racist or, homophobic or whatever? The images collected by the police from the day that Barroso was prevented from entering the store show other white customers circulating normally around the store, even without masks or using the accessory in the wrong way. The same manager who kicked Barroso out appeared serving some of these white customers. Okay, what else could it be here? You got 2 other clients in there who are freely shopping with no problem and not being followed around, and they don't even have masks on inside of the store, but they're shopping freely. And the manager who was, bothering Barroso, he even helped these clients. Okay, let somebody explain this incident if this is not a color thing. This is not a Black thing, right? That's the picture here. White and unmasked couples circulate freely in the store moments before the manager expels a Black customer. She was a delegate of a department for vulnerable groups' rights, right? According to the delegate of the Women of Fortaleza, the investigation is limited to the alleged crime committed by the manager and could not hold Zara responsible. So what they're saying here is they're going to pass on the actions of the store manager as him personally, and this is not how Zara really deals with people. I don't know if that's so much true. The store has civil liability for damages caused by employees for any type of moral damage of speech to someone, she explained. Ana Paula can still file a private lawsuit charging moral damages for the episode. Entities of the Black rights movement, the Movimento Negro in Brazil, filed a lawsuit in Ceará against the Zara chain of stores, asking for 40 million reais in compensation for collective moral damage. At no time did she identify herself as a delegate, a representative that needs to be said. So listen to what she's saying here. She's saying that Barroso did not identify herself as like a representative of of an organization. She says, racism is a subtle crime, difficult to characterize. It's important to emphasize that the victim had this zeal so that we could characterize the crime of racism. This is Vanessa Hilui, women's delegate who also participated in an investigation. That's ridiculous. So basically, what this delegate Vanessa Hilui is of the women's delegate who's a participating in an investigation. She's saying that, well, Barroso should have identified herself as the delegate or the representative of an organization. And this what this says right here. Barroso is saying, I don't need to walk around, with a sign saying that I'm an authority in order to be respected. And she's absolutely right. Regardless of who I am, you're supposed to treat me the same as anybody else. I shouldn't have to prove that I'm an important person for you to respect me as a client, is what she's saying. Zara denies racism, as is typical in most stores in Brazil. Initially, Zara's Brazil store, or one of its many stores in Brazil, again, this was in Fortaleza, the capital city of Ceará in northeastern Brazil. Zara Brazil reported that it did not have access to the police report, but assured that it will collaborate with the authorities to clarify that the store's performance during COVID-19 pandemic is based on the application of health protection protocols. The government decree in force establishes the mandatory use of masks in public environments. Any other interpretation not only departs from reality, but also does not reflect the company's policy, the company alleged. After the report was published, the retailer denied the existence of an alleged code to discriminate against customers. Even though this is what the police found, of course. Zara Brazil also says that it has more than 1,800 people of different races, ethnicities, gender identities, sexual orientation, religion, and culture. Typical excuse. Zara is a company that does not tolerate any kind of discrimination and for which diversity, multiculturalism, and respect are values inherent and inseparable from corporate culture. Very much a typical response from a store that's being accused of racism. They say, we don't discriminate against anybody, and proof of this is such and such and such and such. Zara rejects any form of racism, which must be fought with the utmost seriousness in all aspects, the note concluded. Asked if the manager continues to work in the store since he gave testimony accompanied by the company's lawyer, Zara said it would not go beyond the information contained in the note. Another reason why I want to point this out is that there was an update on that story. Now, that story is from 3 years ago. It happened to this lady, Ana Paula Barroso. And I wanted to highlight this story because of what the journalist Patrícia Ramos detailed about her experience at the Zara store. So the update. The ex-manager of the Zara store where Barroso, the black delegate or black representative was barred, he's been condemned for racism. So this is a recent story. This is from August 30th. This was just last month, less than 30 days ago. So the manager who put her through that has actually been condemned for racism. I have to find out what the penalty is. Let me see. He's going to have to, let me see. He wasn't sent to prison, but he was given community services to make up for what he did. Okay. Another story. This is the same story, actually. Let me see if I can find the other story, because there was a story about a soccer player. But I wanted to highlight another story from June 26th of 2024. And this was from a black soccer player who denounced racism also at the Zara clothing store. He said he felt like he was, I guess he just felt like humiliated because they were questioning him on some products that he had picked up, and then he returned. Let me see what the story says here. Guilherme Quintino, 20, was buying some things in Baja Shopping in the west zone of Rio de Janeiro when he was approached by security after he was trying to leave the store. Let me see. He was obligated to show where he left the store, where he left the clothes that he changed his mind about buying. So basically, they're asking him to show us the clothes that you put back, if he had it in his bag or on his person or whatever. He says, obviously he felt this way because he felt like they approached him probably because he was black. Por ser negro, it says right here. So as we can see, this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this story, because this seems to be a regular thing that goes down with this store called Zara. And this store denied any type of code that follows around black clients throughout the store. But as we can see, this happened to Patrícia Ramos. This happened to Ana Barroso, and also this black soccer player. So do we see a pattern here? As I've said, Brazil treats its black clients in stores this way because of the stigma that is associated with being black in Brazil. Anyway, want to know what you all thought about today's story? definitely drop a comment in the comment section. Like this video, share this video. Just consider subscribing to the channel and clicking on that notification bell when you know, so you'll know when I put up a new video. And with that said, I'm going to end the video here and request that you all come back. Check out the next video that I post here at Black Brazil Today.